what we try to do is create an alternative to the traditional like marketing routes that people see. We're all about moving away from the cold leads of like Google ads and Facebook ads and SEO, which are all cold leads at some level, and trying to really leverage like what already is happening within the business. So we're really focused on getting opportunities around the areas that you're already working and getting more referrals from who you're working with and creating processes that are really repeatable around those things. Some fun math that is kind of mind blowing, but it works, it checks out. If your closing rate is 30% and you begin getting 3 additional appointments, not jobs, appointments as a result of every job. So between getting in front of a neighbor and getting a referral, and you keep the same closing rate, if you're looking at a month over month, you're growing 90% month over month in number of new sales. So everyone is chasing the algorithm and everyone's chasing trying to get their numbers right when it comes to Google ads and Facebook ads and finding who to trust and all of that. My position is if you build these internal processes, you're going to kick the butt of any marketing agency you're ever going to hire. And if you do want to hire a marketing agency to run cold traffic after that, you're going to make it go further because now you can turn one of those jobs that maybe you spent $1,500 to acquire and then turn it into 2 or 3 and cut your cost per acquisition in half or in thirds.
Oh yeah, no, that totally
It's
makes
definitely
sense.
one of the things that people don't think about. People do not understand how much it costs, the acquisition costs to actually get a customer. It's wild. And before we hit record, you talked about the target. It's the 1 to 3 million are underserved, but these systems can work for any size roofing business.
Yeah.
They really, really are. And you talk about the economics of it, and I've experienced this firsthand where I'm a big investor in marketing. I'm a big believer in having the right systems and processes in place for my roofing business, but it's very difficult to do that whenever you are under 3 million. It just costs money. And then you're like, well, if you have a bad month and your acquisition cost goes up, then you're in pretty bad spot.
Yeah.
And then winter happens and you have no lead flow coming in and you can't do any jobs to make up the difference. It's not a volume business. It is a profit business.
Exactly.
Every job needs to be profitable. It's not about quantity of roofs. It's not about revenue at all. It is about how many dollars of profit you can make. And I've been going through this with my team as well. Like we need to make sure we focus on profit for every single job.
And that's the thing that I think people don't understand because so many roofing business owners, and I've have a kind of a decent amount of experience at this point in just business deals. I didn't even mention. So on top of that, my wife and I have bought a exercise studio as well before any of my businesses and run it now. And actually, I'm assuming no one listens to roofing podcasts but we're in the process of potentially moving that. We just got a valuation back, which is amazing. She's kicking my butt if we get this number, which is great.
Nice.
But there's a lot of math that is done in your head or on a paper napkin. And it can be detrimental to your business because there's a time for agility and quick decisions and making moves and all of that. But if you haven't ever done the real math that it takes to be profitable on a job, then you're going to struggle. And what I think the real problem with marketing, like with running marketing, is it's not a one-time campaign. So the way I look at it is like, if you look at your entire marketing budget over the course of a year and you are able to wait a year and then you look at your profitability, then you'll usually be profitable. The problem is it's where usually, especially in the 1 to 3 million, like you don't have the luxury of looking out that far. And oftentimes when you're hiring a marketing agency, and I think this is wrong, like I don't think you should do this, but a lot of the times when people hire a marketing agency, there's two things happening, usually at the same time. One, they have a true deficit of leads and they're nervous about how many jobs they're going to do. They feel like they don't have really very much control. So it's like, I just need the phone ringing. And two, a lot of the time at the same time, you're trying to keep a salesperson fed. So if you're trying to keep a salesperson fed on top of the price to acquire the customer, you also now have commission, and the business has to be profitable. And a lot of the time it isn't. And I have this little like sales letter I made over here, and I want to read you through a part of it just because I think it's better than I could just do off from the hip, but it will walk you through the cycle. And I want John especially to tell me if this is familiar.